Let's talk about the dangers of winter depression. There's a lot less sunlight out there, the days are shorter, and consequently people are feeling down. Are you feeling down right now? Quite possibly. Just the weather, it has this impact on people. This is why so many people struggle living up far north, like in Alaska or up in the Arctic Circle, not seeing the sun for days, weeks, months on end. This is hard for us as humans, and it's understandable for us to accept the fact that we're going to feel a little worse in the winter time. What I want you to do is to hear that, log that once again. You probably already know this, and to just put your feelings into that context to understand that you might be feeling down, but that may be just normal and it may just be the weather. All right, folks, if you are having any sort of thoughts about harming yourself, please do get some help. There are plenty of people who would love to talk to you and help you get back on the straight and narrow path to address some issues that you might have. Some of you coming out of holidays where you've had to go through the holidays for the first time, or maybe multiple times now without certain loved ones in your life. And it can be a really hard season. Several pastors in northern Michigan reached out to me, and they're absolutely right. This is a hard time of year. Pastors, religious leaders, psychologists, and counselors, and everything like that really have a lot to deal with this time of year in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you should be happy and enjoying the sun while you have it. But for us to just think through our feelings and think through how we're dealing with them, I want to give you 5 tips on how to kind of beat the winter depression if it's just a seasonal thing. If you're having, like I said, ongoing issues, or if you are having any extreme thoughts, please do reach out to somebody. There are crisis hotlines. There are everything that you need out there. If you are just feeling a little down and just kind of a little discouraged, not really getting all that much done, I want to give you some tools that are helpful, that have helped me, and I'm sure will help you probably too. You can tweak these as you want because you may be a little different than me, but first things first, practice thankfulness. And I don't say be thankful, I say practice thankfulness. Stop at least once a day and just list some of the things you're thankful for. If you're a praying person, thank God for certain things. Most Christians grew up thanking God for the meals. Every time you have a meal, you stop and you give thanks to the Lord for family, for things in your life, for the food that you're eating. We take that for granted sometimes, and it's good to stop and thank God for the good things that we have. Be at work, you're stressed out, thank God for the work. Not really for the work, but for, the money that comes from the work. Second thing, be around joyful people. Are there some people that will just suck the life out of you? Yes, there are. If you can get away from them, or sometimes get away from them, try to do that. Because when you are under stress psychologically, emotionally, sometimes it's good not to be around those type of people. Okay, but conversely, be around people that really do love and care for you, and be around people who are full of joy. Not necessarily happy, but who are thankful and positive and moving you in the right direction. Hopefully you find that a little bit in this channel. If you want more positivity, you can always check out my Bible channel, Bold Faith Bible, where I do Bible studies every day, most every day. And what we do is we just kind of walk through Scripture, and we have times of prayer, and you can absolutely do that. That leads into number 3, which is pray and read Scripture. Now, if you're not a Christian, if you're not a Bible believer, or even if you're not religious in general, you can substitute this with meditation. You can substitute this with reading poetry, I guess. It's twofold. It's putting ourselves in perspective, right? Prayer is about realizing God is God, and I'm not in control of everything. And there's benefit that comes from just that part of prayer, which is just getting over yourself a little bit. And people find that in meditation. Now, I believe that there is absolutely power in prayer because I'm talking to a real person who cares and loves me. When it comes to Scripture, it's about resetting our minds as well. It's about partially getting over ourselves, but it's more about getting good thoughts into our mind. The Bible is all about getting God's thoughts into our mind, but to a lesser extent, I'd say that I understand where poetry and books that have been useful and helpful to many people over the ages, that can also be useful. I read other books, of course, other than the Bible. If you saw my house, it's just like books everywhere, of course. And getting good thoughts into your head. So pray and read. Or particularly, I would say read Scripture is the best thing, but if you don't agree with me on that, you can apply however you see fit. 4, exercise and see the sun. If you can see the sun, see the sun. And now, some folks are out there saying that we're getting a lot less sunlight than what we normally do. I haven't seen real convincing hard numbers on that kind of stuff. Some people saying weather modification and this kind of thing. I don't know about that. Maybe. I know some of you are very adamant about that. I haven't seen enough to convince me just yet. But if you can see the sun, when you can see the sun, try to get out in it. Get your skin exposed to that. Vitamin D, you can supplement a little bit by milk or by vitamin supplements for D. Better to get the sunlight directly, but exercise, of course, get out there and exercise. If you're anything like me, I have started my exercise regime. I've joined a gym and I'm getting out there. I've been getting out there pretty consistently so far, and I'm working on getting there a little more. I'm still recovering from my surgery a little bit, so I'm having to pace myself. Plus, I'm a bit overweight, so I'm also working from there. But let's just say this: I'm feeling really great from the exercise, and I think that's been helping give me more positivity as well. And 5, and this is a big one. Accept the broken world as it is, and choose to live irregardless. Accept the broken world. A lot of us can look at the news and see, man, things are bad. They're getting worse. It's awful. There's a point where you need to kind of step back and say, that's true. It is awful. It's horrible. But you know what? Is there enough room in this world for me to carve out a little bit of happiness, a little bit of a life here? And I'm going to try to do that. Because what's happening over in Zanzibar honestly doesn't really impact you. And when you're just reading the news and panicking over that, I hope you can read that and go, I'm concerned about those people over there. I'm going to pray for them. But then move on with your life. Don't get stuck because people in Washington, D.C. can't vote straight or something like that, or they're doing stuff over there. They're stealing billions and trillions and whatever. Listen, friends, if you have some money in your pocket, if you have friends and family that you love, if you have a place where you can have a little control over your home, your house or your apartment or wherever you're living, if you kind of control what's going on in your home, choose positivity, choose productivity, be a producer in society, choose to live where you're making your little aspect of the world better. If that's just your life, then make your life better. If it's maybe you can impact some people in your home, make their lives better. If you can make your neighborhood a little bit better, do that. But choose to live. I think it's important to see the world accurately so that you can kind of understand the consequences of what you do and what you say, but not be stuck by that. Accept it and then take action. Man, there's food shortages coming. There's potentially our electrical grids could collapse. Then take some steps to do something about that. Choose to live. Respond with action, not with worry. And the more action and control you take, the happier you'll be. The more you will not be a worrier, and the more you'll be a doer. And I think that's important for all of us. So practice thankfulness. Be around joyful people. I find my joyful people at church. 3, pray and read scripture. Or if you don't believe in any of that stuff, then do something. Meditation, read some poetry, read something that's going to lift your spirits up, that are going to give you some perspective on life. 4, exercise and see the sun as much as possible. And 5, accept the broken world as it is, but then still choose to live. Hopefully these have been useful or helpful. Pop down the comments down below, and if you have some other advice to give people, please share that. Please do so in a nice way, because we're trying to lift people up. And if you need help, do not contact me. Please call a hotline. Please call someone, a counselor or a pastor or somebody that you love and care about, and get some help if you need it, okay? Let's get through these winter months up here in the Northern Hemisphere, and you in the Southern Hemisphere, get ready, because yours is coming. You're going to have some winter soon. All right, folks. If you found this video helpful or useful, you might want to check out this other video from me right here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. God bless you, and I'll see you. Steve Poplar out.